Hello everyone, this is Jack Minnelli from Minnelli Studio Comics, bringing you my pickups for the month of March. I got a pretty big stack of comics to show you, so let's get started. So these first two books I got from a bargain outlet place called Ollie's. Good stuff for cheap, and they have some really good comics there sometimes. And I like to pick up books that I really wouldn't want to spend full price for, or stuff I want to try out. This first one was a book I was looking for called, it's the Flash Rebirth book by Joshua Williamson. This is the Flash book that was released after the Rebirth book, and Joshua Williamson is now probably one of the biggest names in DC Comics, and it's kind of cool to see a book that he was at the ground floor for, and to see him become a bigger and better writer. And next up is definitely a book I'm happy I found at Ollie's. I found actually all the other books in this series at Ollie's too. And I'll tell you that series after I show you this one. It is Batman and Robin Eternal. This is a 2-volume series. This is volume 2. And I also bought Batman Eternals 1, 2, and 3 at Ollie's. This was a $9 book, and I got all the other ones for around the same price. And these are $35 books. And I haven't read Batman Eternals, but I know it's probably not the best Batman story, so I'm really happy Ollie's was holding it. This next book I got at Barnes & Noble, and it is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, written by Tom King. This book always fascinated me, but especially when James Gunn announced that this would be one of the inspiration for an upcoming DC film, I knew I had to get it right away. I'm already building quite a big Tom King collection, so one day I'm going to have to go through all of them and feel sad and probably listen to some emo goth music to get over myself, but I can't wait to read this. I hear, well, King says it's basically the novel True Grit, but in space and with Supergirl, so I like True Grit a lot. Both film versions, at least. Never read the novel, but can't wait to read this. Speaking of favorite authors, my favorite author is Grant Morrison. You can't see right now, but maybe this whole shelf is my shrine to Grant Morrison. The whole shelf is basically dedicated to him. I needed to find a spot for these books because I didn't have these, and now I do. I got Grant Morrison's and Liam Sharp's Green Lantern. That's 1, 2, and then Season 2, 1, Season 2, 2. And this is a very controversial series. Some people like it, some people don't like it, and that's how pretty much everything Grant Morrison is. You either like it or you don't. It's pretty heady. I've read the first a few issues of volume 1, and it is totally my bag. I love Liam Sharp. He is very unique in the world of comics. Nothing looks like his art, and that should be stated for comics. People only really talk about comic stories and never talk about the art. And I think just his art alone makes these books worth owning. But Grant, his way of this meta storytelling within these big characters, but kind of streamline it for you to enjoy it on multiple levels, is one reason why I love him. And Green Lantern being one of my favorite comic book properties, I'm just so excited to dive right into this. Next, I got this really unknown series from the late 2000s by DC called Rebels. That's volume 1, The Coming of Starro. Volume 2, Strange Companions. 3, Sons of the Stars. And 4, The Sons of Brainiac. Now, there was a volume 5 that would finish the series, but it was just never released. So what are you going to do? It's written by Tony Bedard, and I know Tony Bedard from the Green Lantern, there's that name again, Green Lantern New Guardians for the New 52, and I really enjoyed that. He did the first 20 issues, and I really love that series. I love Kyle Rayner. But this story But this comic stars Brainiac 2, which is the son or the clone of the Brainiac everyone knows about. And he was a leader of this group called Legion. Now, not the Legion of Superheroes, no, Legion. So Legion was this kind of group of mercenaries or a police organization that planets can hire to protect them, and Brainiac 2 was the leader. Eventually, his son took over the group, and he's evil, Brainiac 3, and he started a group called Rebels. But that was back in '94. That only lasted a couple years. This is not that, but another group of rebels, and the same title, Rebels, but it's after the Legion company has been kind of taken over by another group of people. So Brainiac 2 has to form his own team and get back his old company because, you know, they were very rich and he likes money and stuff like that. Haven't read this yet, obviously, but I'm looking forward to it in the near future. So the next book is written by somebody that I already talked about, and that is Tom King in Miss Gerard's, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, guy, Mitch, is Sheriff of Babylon Volume 2. I got Volume 1. I really wanted the complete collection, but I could never find it. So I found this for a killer deal, so I picked this up. And yeah, as you can probably notice, I'm a DC fan. Even the Sheriff of Babylon is a Vertigo title. So I'm kind of biased. DC's the house that Batman built, am I right? But I do show some Marvel love. So I got Avengers Forever by Kurt Busiek, and I found the 3 volumes that Jeff Johns, a big DC creator, went over and did some Avengers book. This is the Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. And I also got the Volume 4, which is not him, it's Chuck Austin. I didn't know that, I didn't look, but you know. That's pretty much all the books, the Avengers book, up to Brian Michael Bendis' Avengers Disassemble that changed Avengers Forever. But I'm a huge Jeff Johns fan. He's probably my second favorite writer next to Grant Morrison. I've been wanting to read these books for a long time. I got all these books for a very good deal. I know there's one book I am missing. It is Jeff Johns and Ivan Reyes on Vision. So I know I need to get that to complete this, but this is a great start to my Avengers collection, and I am super excited to read this, especially Avenger Forever, which is a Kang story, and we all know Kang's the big bad right now in the MCU, so if you want to read a good Kang story, Avengers Forever is a place to go. This next batch is actually a pretty controversial stack of comics, because when this creator that I actually just mentioned jumped ship over to DC Comics, it's a DC comic, people were not pleased with the work. For me, I've been rereading this stuff, and I have actually found myself enjoying it quite a bit. Now, I'll stop with the suspense. It is a good chunk of Brian Michael Bendis on Superman. Yes, I know. He destroyed Jonathan Kent and revealed Superman's secret again. But I gotta tell you, I'm quite enjoying this series so far. So right now I got Man of Steel, which is the first volume. Superman, Unity Saga, Book 1. Superman, Action Comics, The Invisible Mafia. Superman Volume, this is the 4th one, Mythology. Superman Action Comics Volume 4, Metropolis Burnin'. 5, House of Kent, love that name. And finally, Event Leviathan. This is most of his run. I'm missing probably only a few volumes, like 4 or 5 maybe, if you include the Legion stuff. But again, I'm liking it a lot. Like I said before with the Grant and Liam Sharp on Green Lantern, the art in these books are crazy. You know, Ivan Rios doing an amazing job. Patrick Gleason, early issues of Action, is probably the best work he's ever done. You know, Yannick Perquet, all these guys. You know, John Romita's work's not that bad either. So, I'm really loving this run right now. Just to tell you, I just finished reading Invisible Mafia, so I'm a good portion way through at the beginning, and I'm loving it, and I can't wait to read more. This is what the stuff I'm reading right now, and I'm actively trying to get. Alright, I'm almost done. I told you I got a lot. Now, this next book is probably the most intimidating comic book I've ever read in my life. And I've read Chris Claremont on the Uncanny X-Men. I'm talking James Robinson on Starman. Now, I equate Robinson to Claremont because they are both verbose writers. I mean, these guys love to write words on the page. But these words are amazing. Jack Knight is probably one of the most down-to-earth, coolest superheroes you'll ever see in a comic. And his tale is fantastic. Him and his father, Ted, his brother, all the villains, the Mist. It's this crazy bibliological epic. And this is the first volume, Compendium number 1. I didn't say that. With art by Tony Harris, who is fantastic in this. Nowadays, he's known for this photorealistic art, but here he was doing straight pencils, and it's beautiful. This book is gorgeous. Like I said, the words, it's intimidating. When I look through this book, like I think it is, I'm intimidated. Like, I get scared reading this, and I have to read it slow. Look, I'm only about 13 issues in. But this book is fantastic. If you take anything from any of this, I would recommend picking this up because you will not be disappointed. This is the most bang for your buck you can find. These DC compendiums are some of my favorite things DC are releasing, and I can't wait to pick up more. I can't wait to finish this and to pick up volume 2. I know I said that last one was pretty intimidating, but this is technically bigger and hardcover, so it's much heavier. And this is by a writer that I already mentioned. I love this artist. I've mentioned a couple times already too, one of the artists, and possibly, again, pretty controversial, but I am a fan of this series. Clearly I bought it, and it has to be the New 52 Justice League by Jeff Johns and a bunch of artists. This is volume 1. This contains, the first half of the series, Justice League 1, 2, or Justice League 0 to 23, which means it also includes the whole Shazam series right in the middle of it, which is actually really cool. And the next main book is Justice League of America 1 through 7, and this collects the whole Trinity War, some issues of Pandora, Trinity of Sin, and I think it also has Phantom Stranger in here. Yeah, so pretty nice collection. Volume 2 has the rest of the series, including all of Forever Evil and all of the Darkseid Wars, which is also pretty cool, which used to be an omnibus by itself. Now you can get it for that much. Sorry for everyone who bought that. And I can't wait to read this. I read all this stuff before. This stuff leads right into Rebirth. Actually, Rebirth is in it too. And it's a fantastic series, especially if you're new to comics. You should definitely check out Jeff Johns' Justice League because Jeff has such a passion for these characters, especially in comic form instead of the movies, that he crafts these stories for these characters to bloom. The Justice League is not the Avengers. This is not what they do on their free time. This is a job. They're going out and saving the world. So these books are big and fun, and a lot of stuff happens in it. And he tells this story with the Justice League that, again, collides in the Darkseid Wars, which is probably a DC comic fanboy dream, with Darkseid versus the Anti-Monitor, which sounds like it's fan fiction, but it's real. And again, if you haven't checked it out yet, you should check it out. Now guys, thanks for watching the video. That's it. What was your favorite thing I picked up this month? I can't really choose. It could be the Starman by James Robinson or the Brian Michael Bendis on Superman, but I don't know. It's all good stuff, all stuff I love, and you should also go out and buy things that you love. Comment down below what you've gotten this month and tell me if I pick up the right thing or stuff you should recommend. And comment down below and like this video if you think I should show off my comic book collection. I got a pretty nice one, especially if you're a Batman fan, Superman fan, Grant Morrison fan. And I got a pretty good manga collection too, so comment down below if you want to see anything like that. If you want to see reviews of anything here, please let me know. Tell me if you heard of some of these comics. You know, do you know Rebels? Have you read Legions from back in the day? I want to know. I want to pick up that book. If I see it at a comic book store for my dollar bin, I'm picking it up. So hit that subscriber button if you want to see more content. And don't forget to comment down below your favorite comic book you picked up this month. And hit that thumbs up if you agree with me. Now, until next time, I've been Jack Minnelli from Minnelli Studio Comics signing off. See you later.